Even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020.
Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the New York Giants
and the Las Vegas Raiders. And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. And here comes a return.
And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And he'll be brought down around the 7-yard line. And how about that for some fireworks to start this one?
And the fireworks turned out to be for the kicking team, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, go down there, make a play, knock it free, and end up with the football. And for the team who's supposed to have the ball, now their defense has to run out on the field and see if they can slow things down a bit.
A quick scramble for the helmets, and now we switch sides. And he gets them a little bit closer and takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or two in this situation.
Second and goal from inside the 5.
Barkley again.
And he takes it into the end zone for a Giant TD. Saquon Barkley.
His 16th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Giants are on the board first here in Vegas.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game.
Raiders nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards.
They'll start the drive with a give to White. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid...
Looking for water, but this is intercepted. Julian Love picks it. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Mike Gesicki, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0.
Raiders nothing.
The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game? Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Now here's a throw that's complete. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24. Gore hit. He lost the football.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game, and we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning out to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down.
Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Devontae Adams with career touchdown number 157, moving him past Terrell Owens and into a tie with Randy Moss for 4th on the all-time list.
And the Raiders have got it back to within a scrimmage.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled.
The throw for Tony is intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week and now another here in this first quarter.
Sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and he can't do it all on one throw.
Touchdown!
Zamir White,
23 yards for the touchdown.
And the Raiders are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
And from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40.
44 yards rushing for him now to this point.
If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time when you do it consistent.
There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Chambers. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. He'll drop to throw. Looking deep for Adams. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The Raiders at 4-9 now on the year. They were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Julian Love. And the Giants are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
And partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
They go play action here on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Rocky Sin. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 21. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble of bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 46. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And Oliver in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 34-yard line. These two teams all tied after one. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw.
It's Barkley once again bringing in the catch. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
A first down carry for Barkley. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll set up a throw.
Catch made by Slayton. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. On the move to his left. And he'll just get rid of it.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the plague did on the last one.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
Well, this is intercepted. They get Ritter for the third time. And the Giants are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Up the middle with Barkley.
And he'll be stopped at the 46, gain of 3.
But obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12.
They'll drop to throw. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 33 yards that time.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
Stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. Buying time to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down.
Trying to find Barkley on the out route, and he's got it.
Touchdown, Giants! Saquon Barkley on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive.
Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Over the middle, complete. That's Chambers. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He sets to fire deep. And this one is incomplete.
That's a really good job in execution. They avoided the flag downfield and avoided giving up yardage for free. Really good coverage.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Julian Love picks it, and the Giants are going to take possession of the football. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
And the Raiders will take over here just shy of the 30.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at home.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
Azeez Ojulari
In there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning.
Okay, ready? Ready.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking deep for Adams. And my goodness, another interception.
And the Giants are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along. If you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. On 3rd down, Barkley. And he'll get nothing out of that one. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away.
He'll take it at the 42. Now a hit and a loose football. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we draw up. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking now.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. He's got a man, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment, takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Mike Gesicki as the first half is winding down.
And the Giants will extend their lead here just before halftime.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Okay, great.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And, Charles, they got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Look, there were 3 talking points at the half, partner. All of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
He's got Bellinger.
So they decline it, and they choose to not give him that down back.
And I think that's the key to everything there. They didn't give up any yardage even on the completed pass. Don't give them an extra down in order to try and pick up a first.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. They'll look to throw.
And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Fielded at about the 28. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. On play action, they'll throw. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way that's made him get off the spot. Receivers.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Micah Hyde.
And the Giants are going to take over at their own 41. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception. They've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. It's Barkley on the counter. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
106 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here.
He's going to try and take off with it.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. He'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is fielded at the 7. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
The carry here for the big tight end. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Micah Hyde.
And the Giants are going to take possession of the football.
The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll go to Barkley again. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now back to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. He completes it to Beckham. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. First catch there for OBJ, and that good for a 1st down.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 21st touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Point after, right down the middle, and the lead is now 24.
first 21.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And now here's another interception.
Picked by Julian Love. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football.
Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
And he's going to be close to a first down as he gets this to the Raiders' 38.
142 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on third down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
They'll run with Barkley. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. He's been tough for this defense to handle, over 100 yards. You kind of knew that they were going to him on that play, didn't you?
They certainly did. That's one of those situations where you simply say, my best.
And he's going to lose yardage here as they will switch ends as time is run out. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. They'll try the right side here. Barkley.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film section in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play. to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And I'll tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. He'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Adams. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 32-yard line. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Chambers. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
In a game that hasn't gone your way, you've got to throw in the end zone at every opportunity and hopefully climb back in as much as possible. He put way too much on that throw, though, and that shot ends up with nothing.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. This is caught. And the Raiders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
They'll look to throw again. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Davante Adams with career touchdown number 158. That pushes him past Randy Moss and into 4th place all time. And the Raiders get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now down to 20. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. It's been a dominant performance to this point, Charles, and this is probably exactly how they scripted this and envisioned it. They got a 3-score lead, 4th quarter, and a chance if they won to continue to pour it on here.
It is their call, isn't it? I mean, the way that they have taken on this game and the way that they have carried this game and have dominated this game, you're exactly right. Do what you want down the stretch. We are in the era of, hey, if you don't want us to do this to you, then you need to stop us. Their call to finish this one off. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken at about the 36. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. It's caught here by Adams. And they're going to get this up to midfield. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And it's complete to Adams. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Touchdown, Raiders! A great play there. 29 yards.
And the Raiders have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that cuts this lead down to 13. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, they're